How about now?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
There we go. Oh my God. Fucking AirPods, man.
Did
Who
you try
decided to make this thing
to
stuff?
did you try to use AirPods to talk?
But like, I don't know. I had to switch like the output method or something. I don't know.
Uh
Discord, I'm not really like, I don't move with Discord like that. So I usually just talk over like WhatsApp with my friends and whatnot.
oh, that makes sense. Yeah, Discord, I will say I use it basically for cloud storage.
Exactly. Like,
Yeah,
I
and it
don't know.
doesn't look like I can share my screen while being full screen, so I'll just drop the stream link.
Go ahead, man. But yeah, don't mind me either. I might have to leave like pretty abruptly because I got called in today, man.
Oh,
It
damn.
ain't
Where
easy.
do you work exactly?
I was working before at my university. Like I was working at the sustainability office, but
Uh,
ever since I graduated, I have to move on from that post. Contract terminated, that type of beat.
yeah.
And now I'm just kind of back at like, I'm back at the coffee shop, a local coffee shop that I work at. Just like pick up
Yeah,
part-time shifts and whatnot. It ain't been easy. That's all I'm
it
gonna
ain't
say.
easy. So
You
do you still
gotta
live
do
at
what you
home?
gotta do. Me?
Yeah.
Well, at this time, it's kind of like interesting situation. I'll just say it's a fluid situation. I'm like in the process of moving out. Basically,
Oh, that's kind
that's kind of it.
so the Canadian situation when it comes to finding work, would you say it's like easier than it has been or like harder?
No, man, I would definitely say it's harder. Like
Yeah,
in Windsor, in particular, I think we have some of the highest unemployment rates in all of Canada. So it
not
ain't been easy for
surprising.
me, man. It is because like you would assume that Windsor, a city like on like the border, right, with the United States, it would be kind of like booming in that aspect, but not really the case. There's not a lot of like industry here anymore.
Yeah.
It's all these like fake jobs, man. Where about you, bro?
I
How's
went
the work been treating
to like work is calm these days. It's basically like because I was able to get a job like right after graduating, like
you?
post COVID, it meant that I could just kind of like coast. Basically, like there was like a hiring boom like during COVID, and then there was a
Got you.
hiring freeze right after COVID. So there was like
Yeah,
all these companies took on a lot of fat and then they trimmed that fat because of all the layoffs and stuff. But I managed to come in at a time where it was just normal. So I'm not really kind of like by this point I've become basically essential. So I'm just like normal, I guess. But
I
yeah, it's
got you.
just
And
like
what do you do? Is it like front end, back end
yeah, it's basically
development, or
combined full stack everything. I do like I make the servers and then I
got you?
make
Okay,
the databases and then I also make the front end routes and stuff. So yeah, I would say it's like
that's fun. That's fun.
it's easy work, but then it's also kind of like semi semi rewarding as well, where it's like I'm doing the stuff that I knew how to do from going to school for it. So
Mhm.
it's like I get to do art stuff like when I'm not doing work, which is like the ideal for me because
I
I
was gonna say
was
like you probably have like a lot of downtime that you
yeah,
just can utilize.
I can
That's
turn
it.
off my brain like when I'm done with work and just focus on like leisure stuff. And then I can also um like have a lot of usually my weekends are free as well. So I can either play video games like this, draw, or if something happens, like something comes up, I can just spontaneously go to it as well. So that's always the ideal.
But it's like
Are you talking? Because I can't hear you.
Well, good evening wherever you are on this most pleasant evening. As you can see, there's been a terrific atmosphere here. There is great expectation, excitement, and it has built nicely in these idyllic conditions. Conditions which are certainly playing their part in creating a glorious ambience. It's quite a struggle to get in here, points of access hard to come by, and an awful lot of people gathering to get through the gates, but regardless of that, there's a great feel here and much excitement for the game ahead. Really is quite a sight to behold this. It feels like a big game, it looks like a big game. Mind you, they all do at this ground. Things have got underway here pretty promptly. Estepona are the league's top scorers, formidable in front of goal.
Oh, that was bad, Kiriki.
So what can they make of this?
Disaster averted.
King. Estepona are still boasting a perfect record with a quarter of the season gone.
And I'm thoroughly enjoying the run. For me, they're the best team in the league so far. They've set a standard that will be hard to maintain, but what a fantastic start for them.
Yamaguchi. Passes coming off in quick succession here. Lovely feet. He is through here. Swept in. Aksoy. Difficult to choose between them early on. Not many chances yet. Oh, good spread. Now the finish! Keeper pulls up a fine save.
Oh, that's a sparkling save. Absolutely sparkling. His reflexes were ultra sharp.
Oh yeah, your Wi-Fi. Insane. Yeah, I literally couldn't hear you anymore. That's why I was confused. Like, I just kept quiet because I'm just like, wait, is he talking or not? You're still showing on the Discord overlay, so that means like you're technically still online. But most likely the next code is just making it so I can't hear you.
No goals as yet. Takahashi. Bout of passing here, really easy on the shot at goal!
Oh, I thought that was in.
That's a half-decent try.
Oh yeah, it's been good. I'm really lucky that I know my share. Like, it's literally just because I know my share and Safrat's to a little extent that I've been able to like do a lot here. But because Safrat lives closer to UGA and stuff, it's more difficult to hang out with him regularly. But my share literally lives in my neighborhood, so it's super easy to link up. This 4-5-1 out of possession isn't really my ideal, but I feel like this game really punishes players being out of position.
Abdul Samed.
So I don't really think I'm ready to leave leave like 3 players forward yet.
He's had it taken off him.
Even though I would really rather not
well, it's not a surprise to see that
Tribune
these
track
days
back.
all part of a forward's duties.
Kiyotake. Good spot, he's seen the run.
Oh. I always overthink it in those situations.
Interesting
That was
ball.
really bad.
And that could set him on his way. Face to face with the keeper. And the shot! Goal!
That is so unfortunate.
That really is quite
I
fabulous.
don't really know what I'm supposed to do in that situation without giving you a red card.
Having the trust to get there is one thing. Having the composure to score is another.
Deadlock broken, it's 1-0.
Still a fragile lead, though. They can't afford to sit on this.
Baogo. Takahashi. Yamaguchi. King. Takahashi. Oh, such a clever touch. Oh, well played. He's taken that really cleanly. Well, the crowd clearly like what they just saw. Some real no-nonsense defending. Yamaguchi. Threads one in. Spread neatly.
That's what Saka
The
could
defence
have.
proved infallible then, but that won't be the last they'll see of him.
I'm struggling to work out whether that was brave or a bit stupid. Maybe both, actually.
It's an inviting looking ball, that. Sends it forward. Well, now here's a good battle, bicep to bicep. Brilliantly cut out. Yamaguchi. King. Takahashi. Baogo. Takahashi. And that'll be the final action of the first half.
Couldn't make it happen.
So the end of the first half, both teams have had their moments. There's been no shortage of talking points, but there has been just one goal, and that is the state of it at the break. 1-0.
Well, they definitely won't be happy with that half. They seem to lack a bit of desire, especially going forward. It wouldn't surprise me to see a change or two.
So off we go once more.
Estepona don't need to press the panic button just yet. They may...
Oh, he's going to be pulled back for that one. Abdul Samed just eases him off the ball. Kenny. Baogo. Takahashi. Some terrific running on the ball there. Those efforts are not going unappreciated. Gently done. Aimed in towards the centre. Rudy. Kenny. Takahashi. Kenny. Kiyotake. Takahashi. Oh, that's a key
Okay, I
interception.
think I fixed it now.
Oh, okay. I was answering you on
Oh
stream.
my god.
I don't know if you could hear me or not.
No, I could hear you. I could hear everything.
Oh, okay,
I could,
nice.
Out to the
sorry,
left
Shaz.
it goes.
Yeah, he
Whatever
kills me.
happens,
I
that's
wish
the
I
kind of
saw him more
movement
often.
which raises hope.
Uh,
That is a brilliant interception.
I saw in FIFA that would have been a handball
It's
and
looking
penalty
pretty
against me.
clear now, Peter, that
Whenever
the
those
wide
situations
players have been
happen,
told to get the balls in much earlier here.
oh my
Yeah,
god,
Jim,
we
I
are
see what
so
you're saying.
sluggish
Yeah,
on the
Let me
ball,
see
passes
this
man.
real
that
quick.
are not
Oh my
carefully
god.
selected, but they are very effective.
I can tell though,
Looking
like
for the runner.
Pez, it's definitely
Can
like
he finish?
slower. If
Yeah,
that makes sense.
Oh,
Like I can
it,
tell
it's
there's like
not.
a noticeable
It's easy
difference.
to say it,
It's
but
not arcadey.
difficult to stop it when runs in behind
You
are
have to
being
really
made like
think
that.
about everything you're doing.
Mhm.
And defensive
It's a
positioning
lot
is
more
way
manual too. I can
more.
tell from like the shooting and the passing.
Yeah, the shooting and passing. That's why I hold L2 sometimes to show the
Estepona
direction
have
of where I'm
turned to
going.
their bench, and we're
And the
going to
thing with the
have a
defending is that like
substitution.
the positioning is everything.
Shapes for an
Like,
overhead.
oh my god, that was so lucky.
Outcome could so easily have been different.
That was so lucky. Well, it's like you have to always pay attention to the positioning, like way more important than just beelining for the ball. If you just like beeline for the ball, they will just pass around you like crazy.
Safe to say he's capable of better than that.
And the thing is, we've had
Yeah,
insertions.
that's like
Played into the middle,
Okay, that was
and now
fine.
a second chance to counter.
We've had insertions, but just no shots. It's so frustrating because in this game, it kind of feels like real life in the sense that you don't want to waste the opportunity. You want to make sure that it's like the highest percentage
Actually-
shots possible, but sometimes that works against you. Where it's like, it's the
yeah,
ideal
exactly.
to just shoot.
Takahashi gets his
Ah,
pass
that was bad.
away.
You see what I
Made
mean
into
about like,
space out wide.
if you don't,
Danger averted for now.
Yeah,
like if you don't pick the right option, it's like all of a sudden the window just
He's looked
closes.
backward here. Now the finish.
Ah, that was.
Straight at the keeper.
Very
That's why
speculative
sometimes I
with
don't
little
shoot
threat,
immediately.
if any, for the keeper.
And these clubs, they just want to go direct every time. They just want to go direct in the championship. That's all they do. They just want to pass it straight to their big guy up top,
Kenny.
and he's going to win the duel.
So Jim, what do you think?
And because all of our
Mr.
Tokyo
Tony,
Esperion players are so
not
tiny,
got very long if they hope to rescue this. They're being urged forward by great home support, but they need something to go their way pretty soon, Peter.
so yeah, Pez management does have like certain
Oh.
characteristics of like other
Mr.
teams.
Tony,
It's pretty
are
cool.
definitely
Yep.
going about this the right
Similar
way.
to
Like-
how like
This is a
FM
really
is like, you
front-footed
know, they
approach.
have
You know, the interest
certain
value
play
in this
styles
game
Yep.
might
they
just
do
take off
or
from
like
here.
replicate like they have in real life.
FIFA used to care about that stuff, but it's all basically gone now. Because they've made their gameplay too arcadey. So even like park the bus teams will
It's
still
so true,
fundamentally
bro.
have to ping passes.
Looking for options for
Ah, that was
movements.
nice.
We'll have Stoke City playing like
Oh my
playing
God,
Barcelona.
dude.
And he's heaved it away.
Yep.
Estepona have it back and they can go again. Looking tidy in possession here.
You see, I mean, it's like
I didn't
just
even buy the
flood.
game this year, man.
Who?
Just a quarter of an
I
hour
didn't
to
even buy
play.
FIFA this year, man. I
Oh,
just
yeah.
couldn't do it anymore because I
Not long left in this now.
I knew
The
I had like
undefeated
kind
run
of an
now
addiction.
looking- Great shot!
It's not like I like the game or anything. It's just like
Relief it.
Yeah.
you keep playing it every year, and it's like at what point? Like what's
Yep.
the point of it? You had to just stop eventually. Cold turkey.
Yep. And that missed chance there, that's how manual the
Time for a
shooting in
change
PES is.
personnel.
Well, for me,
I
this
didn't
was the
take my time
obvious
and aim
substitution.
properly,
He
and I
become
snatched the
just
shot
a little
wide.
jaded, and
Which
as a
is
result of
realistic,
that,
because if you
he's
rush the
likely to
shot,
make a mistake. I think sometimes
you're
when
most
the body
likely-
becomes tired, the brain goes with it, and I think that's happened in this case.
and I feel like in this game, fatigue also
I
affects
just saw it
the.
right now. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Roberts.
I feel like in this game, fatigue also affects the quality of your shots. Like if
That's a good intervention.
If your
That
winger
was
is
what
really
he had
tired.
to make in the face of danger that was growing.
okay, let's go, Rindo. Oh, finally,
He's
we have a
got
player
away.
that can dribble.
Great hit! It's
Oh,
loose,
fuck.
and there's a race for the ball. Might be danger here. Tries a shot!
Oh my god,
So
dude.
close to drawing level.
He
oh
was
my
just a
god.
little too eager to
Agonizing.
get his chance away there, and it could have level matters.
Let me see what's happened here.
Yeah, you're about to see it. I think that was the chance. Man, we can't lose our unbeaten streak like this, man. Holy moly. To fucking Sunderland. Oh no.
Nah, no. That was too Martinelli coded, man.
Kiyotake.
Exactly.
Time is running out here.
All they need is one
Yeah,
big
that wasn't
chance.
Martinelli coded.
And chance!
How is that not a corner? Oh my god, these
I
guys are
thought
the
it was gonna
luckiest
happen
team
then. How
ever.
many more chances can they realistically expect now?
Oh my god, that might be it, dude. They're just going to go forward.
Well, that is one way to stop him.
Let's go, guys. Come on.
Mina.
Oh no, dude.
Moved on forwards. That's been cut out. Well played.
Nice.
Takahashi. Rivaldo. Fiddles it through.
Why would you come back and not shoot? Oh my god, dude.
Shot a goal! Really well taken goal.
Insane.
They have stolen level at the last.
You're about to see what happened.
As simple as you like. The outcome.
I almost
utterly
choked that.
inevitable.
Peter, that was just a defensive act of generosity that was always going to have a painful ending.
I almost choked that.
Oh my god, there we go. There we go. You gotta see the replay on this thing.
Yeah. It's one of those things where I tried to Cruyff turn, but I'm still not good at skill moves in this game. So I ended up dribbling
All
perpendicular
square
instead of like
again
directly
into the
backwards.
dying minutes.
But you draw here, so a terrible result,
It's
dude.
actually
Holy
pretty
mo-
good.
Due any moment. Well, he's certainly caught him there. It's a free kick.
Who? What do you say?
The ref's been lenient here. I doubt he'll get too many more chances.
No, it was a pretty good finish. I thought it was directly at the goalkeeper. It wasn't though. It was actually like close to the near post.
Oh yeah. That's the thing with the manual shooting. It's like really good. It's easy. It's you're rewarded if you try like something ambitious, but it takes you out to get the feeling down. Oh,
And time is
that's
up.
a really bad result, man. Holy moly. That's like the XG. This game probably like in PES 21 there was no XG yet, so we don't really have the thing all the new FIFAs have with the XG and stuff. But like, come on, 6 shots on target, 1-1. Ah, that's tough. But that's why I like, and of course the keeper gets man of the match naturally. And we made, yeah, I'm not sure, and I think this is what happens when we rest Kuribayashi. Like he's just too important. If you rest him for one game, it's like, oh my god, dude, like where's the creation coming from? But I had to rest him because we were playing midweek, and I would rather not like
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the championship has like what? Fucking 40 something
42 games,
I
yeah.
don't remember the exact time. 42 games. Fucking hell, man. I'm not sure why they have that many teams in one division. Just doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah.
A product of Sky Sports. Man.
Oh, jeepers. Some people are refusing to extend their contracts. 3 players. Uh-oh. That's scary. I think when that happens, you just need to like basically some players don't want to extend their contracts. This would be so much easier if I could share my screen on Discord, but yeah, it's like basically, I guess in this game, it's not just a given that if you offer someone a contract, they will accept it. They might decide that they want to try their chances with another team, or they might accept immediately. You never know. Like Tachibana, he said yes immediately because he's still a young man and he's staying until 2028. But oh man, Rindo Akiyama is concerning. And Nikaido is also concerning because he's like the 3rd choice keeper, which is like you never want to. It's tough to balance like third choice keepers. Ideally, everybody would stay, but because this is like pairs, I think it's kind of assuming that transfers are more like ruthless. Because the whole point of me doing this is like I want everybody to stay together and do, but like I know that no matter what, some players want to go, so I just have to like bide my time. I think these are the only guys left that are expiring this year. Everyone else has extended. Everyone else is 2026, 2027. So it's just these three: Kobayakawa, Akiyama, and Nikaido. Which is fine ultimately because I can just like get youth players from Japan to damn almost like 100k follow as well. Actually a good ass team, dude. Holy moly. And now I'm playing against QPR.
Nah,
Before I
QPR,
play before I play every team, I have to check what kits their keeper wears. So I make sure I don't clash. Okay, I think I'm good to wear yellow again. Okay, so this time a lot of people are tired, which means we can afford to play some certain people like Kobayakawa. And I'm actually switched the entire team because I know I don't know why accidentally. And some players are on bad form too. Like this PES form thing is interesting. I can't really remember how their form works, but I know that like when a player is like on orange, it's like they're more prone to like make mistakes or like something weird like that. But like when they're bright green, that's when they get like a boost almost. So it's like interesting to consider. I think QPR, I'm not sure what league position they're in, but I want to risk changing the entire team. Maybe even including the keeper actually. Just because the championship schedule is so tough if you don't like think carefully about this stuff. Actually, who can play?
Is it just me or QPR actually a pretty good team?
Yeah, I'm seeing they have a pretty highly rated center forward, and then they have Kenneth Powell, LB. Like this is not a bad, and they have Jay Clark Salter on the bench. That's a name I recognize. That's probably the only name I recognize actually. Michael Frey, Koki Saito. Yeah, I think championship teams in this game, most of their averages would be in the high 70s. And the average for my team, because I tried to make it realistic for a bunch of like Tokyo Esperion youth players, most of my averages are like high, mid 70s, high 60s. So it's like definitely a bit of a deficit there. But the way I've structured this team, I have like proper replacements for all 11 positions. So I can change the whole team. And everyone is still basically as good as everyone else. With the only exception being like this center attacking, this Kuribashi position. Basically, when he doesn't play, I have to put Takasugi there, but he's more of an SS than like a pure playmaker. So he doesn't really have the same characteristics. That's why we kind of suffer. Like Kuribashi, he can dribble, he can pass, he can do everything. But this guy, he's more of a kind of like in the whole Dybala second striker type of player. So it like makes it a little bit harder for me when he doesn't play. Because those creative movements are harder to execute with this specific personnel. I don't know if I want to have non-inverted wingers in this type of setup. It's usually useful for the way I play, relying so much on like width. But the fact that I so often have to cut inside is kind of a problem. Versus if they play on their strong foots, they can immediately be more incisive. I might switch them back, but I also want to experiment to see what I prefer. And then obviously for the man marking, I would prefer if we just stick to the basics. Left back, right, mark the right winger. Left back, right back, mark the left winger, and then the CV who's better at man marking, mark the. I didn't do that last time, and that was a problem. So I like that this game lets you man mark, because that was my favorite thing to do in one of my favorite things to do in old FIFAs. But they slowly removed it because I guess not enough people cared about the game mode.
Well, a very good evening to you as you join us for tonight's live game. Unfortunately, our weather forecast is somewhat less than promising.
Oh, right,
We're
I
told
forgot. I wanted to
intermittent
mention
spells of heavy
the
rain,
Milan game.
which might very well impact on the quality of the football later.
Disappointing.
Man, the reactions
That's
to
all I
that
can
game were so
Especially
irritating
for those players who like
because
to keep hold of the ball. Pure
I agree with him.
hoping it will all somehow stay away.
I don't know.
have
It
to
was
tell
just
you
like
that we are told
it wasn't a bad game.
it wasn't a bad game at
From
all.
like the perspective of like the tactical battle was not lost at all.
And
It
we
was
did
just two mistakes.
everything we
It
wanted
was
to do.
just two mistakes.
Literally 2 mistakes. We did everything we
Exactly.
wanted to do. And the more important thing is that Atlanta didn't threaten us at all. Obviously, they will always create chances, but they couldn't
exactly.
execute their plan A. They couldn't do anything they wanted to do. They had terrible looks all game. They had to resort to like taking pot shots at Manuel. They couldn't do anything they wanted to do. And more importantly, we actually threatened them. The offside goal that we had and then the actual goal that we had were two perfect examples of like how to counter Atalanta's like man marking with just like fast direct passing, vertical, getting the ball up the field very quickly. But the problem was 2 mistakes on set pieces that shouldn't have been fouls. Like both free kicks that resulted in the first free kick that they scored from literally wasn't a foul, but the ref just called the foul. And then the actual Decathlon goal, he fouled Theo, but the ref didn't call it because I guess like they just didn't want to cancel the goal. It's just one of those things that happens. And it's like people they're saying, oh, Fonseca, he's not good enough, blah, blah. But it's like, man, none of you want to go back to the Stone Ages. The football Milan is playing now is so much better. And the management can see it too.
No, I agree. I 100%.
Like, we are so much better than we used to be. Off the ball especially, dude. Like, holy moly. What used to happen is that Milan would concede goals because of like terrible schematics and terrible positioning. But we would score because of individual brilliance and Leao and stuff. Now, we score because of good positioning and good like fundamentals on the ball, good attacking patterns of play. But we concede because of individual mistakes now. It's completely inverted. It's inverted from how it used to be. And it's like, you can live with that so much better because individual mistakes are easy to correct. But bad positioning, bad coaching, that's like, you're screwed basically. That's why we played Inter 6 times and lost 6 times, and Inter scored the exact same goal 6 times. Because it was just a fundamental problem with that Milan. Like, the sacrifices Pioli made were just too extreme to play like the way he wanted to. Especially after the bubble ended and Zlatan was gone, and we lacked that sort of box presence and the gravity that affected opposition defenders as well. And the worst part was teams basically figured us out. Like the bubble season and the year after was like the one chance we had to play that way. And then teams started putting 2 men on Leao. Why would you pass there? That's not why I aimed. Teams started putting 2 people on Leao. Teams started like sitting back more. It was kind of over. And we had to try and become Arteta basically. We had to try and start doing positional play, inverting Theo into midfield. And the players just didn't take to it compared to the chaos ball of that they were used to. Okay, these guys are actually playing football.
No, exactly. It was exactly that fact. I don't know. Yeah, I just don't really understand like the point of many Milan fans at this point, where it's like there's obvious signs of change in an improvement. Like you don't beat Inter Milan away from home. You don't beat Real Madrid away from home if you're
exactly.
a bad team. Like it's just like it's
so
redundant. Like it doesn't exist. Like you guys are a good team.
It's so emotional for them because it's like, oh my god, if we're not fucking dominating if we don't win every single team, if we don't win every single game, it's like it's over. We're in a crisis. But it's like, dude, that's football. You play a lot of games. If you have a new coach, yeah, stuff will go against you sometimes, and other teams can get lucky too. Just like we used to get
100%.
lucky under Pioli. But I'm not worried at all, man. Like
Back
it's been
into the
so
middle.
encouraging.
Oh, great
Oof, it's so what I
defending.
wanted to
That
do.
needed doing.
It's been so encouraging, especially
I don't know,
the.
maybe.
The ball is loose and the chase
Hmm.
is on.
Ooh,
And he
that was
really
interesting.
went all the
I've
way.
noticed Akiyama is a good dribbler.
Such
This
a
is number
great
40.
run. I'm
There's some
expecting him
stuff
to
that I
go all
can
the
do with
way,
him
and
that it
instead,
usually works
he
out
just lost
compared to
his
some
way.
other players. Like he's just very slippery. But yeah, I like especially like the fact that he's kind of settled on a consistent like best 11 to use in those situations.
Hmm.
Like it's a good sign. It's a good sign, especially because for so long Milan has just been completely like freestyling when it comes to like the offensive philosophy. Just
Header!
whatever works, whatever works, whatever
With his
works.
head, but couldn't steer
Now
it
it
in.
seems like there's an actual pattern that we can fit into, and there's flexibility too.
Um,
So certain games that
Takahashi.
require like
yeah, you go.
more rigid, like when Musa has to become
Someone.
like a fifth defender, we can
Kuzawa.
do that. And then in the games against
Someone.
the provincial teams where we have to like
Ota.
dominate and Chukwueze can
Pinches it
play,
off him.
that's a foul,
That's a
ref.
foul.
Thank you.
Yep, referee's given it.
The games where Chukwueze has to play, we can do that too. Like it's so satisfying, and it's just like it's one of those things where when you kind of zoom out and you just accept that like
And a great opportunity to
yeah,
open the
Milan just
scoring
isn't that
here.
good, you know.
He's
Like
shaping up to have a crack
we
from
used to
here.
be good,
Yeah,
but we're not anymore. And so like what now? What now? You can't just keep sacking the manager because that's how you become like Roma. Roma used to be really good, but then they decided
He's gone direct.
I really don't know how to take free kicks in this game. Normally I would try to curve it there, but like when you try and curve in oh wow, that was a really good press. When you try and
Frey.
curve in this game, the ball just goes wide.
Oh, he's going to be
Nice.
disappointed with that.
What is this passing today, guys? Holy moly. It's like
Kappa.
when
Samuel.
like usually with Milan, what you would observe is like
Well, that is one way
man,
to stop
they
him.
don't bite fake shots at all, dude. Holy moly. Like not at all. But I was just going to say like in general, when you zoom out and accept that you're just not a good team anymore, like what are you going to do?
If you
With
have just
Roma,
joined us, you'll be glad to know
they used to be
that
really
you
good,
haven't missed a goal.
and then they started sacking managers every 10
Kuzawa.
seconds. And now what it did was it just gave the players a
Oh,
permanent
delicate
alibi.
chip through.
So they just like they're
And
so
into the
bad
grateful arms of the keeper.
and there's just never any consequences for it. Because they can just like check out mentally and they know that the manager will get the blame in the end. They're not the ones that have to suffer.
exactly.
But those guys at Milan, most of them
That's a
have been
good
there since
challenge
the
from him.
bubble. If not soon after. Oh no.
Frey!
Nice. Most of them have been there since the bubble and soon after. So that emotional investment in the team's success, because you know that like win or lose, this part of you is going to stay with you. Guys like Teo, guys like Leao, guys like Tomori, guys like Benasser, that stuff matters. With Roma, the squad changes so often and the manager changes so often. There's never any like any chance to just like build anything consistent. Nice, Tachibana. That's what I like to see.
Why I always like subconsciously, even to this point, when I have like my shots that I take at Arteta,
Well, it would have been harder
it's always
to miss.
kind of like
Well, he makes finishing
mixed in
look
with like jokes,
a matter of
obviously,
fact.
because I know
Why
Arteta is
take
like
extra
the
touches?
man
Yep.
at this current moment in time in the process. Because I know as long as like the main pillars of the team are there and will be there for the foreseeable future, the strength rests in a sense that I don't think that we're getting the best in terms of our attacking patterns. We're
Yep.
not really platforming the right players at the right situation at times. I think we need to kind of invest heavily in the market because you know eventually sometimes some players are just going to be like, okay, we tried our best to like platform them in the right ways.
Yep.
Havertz is just not good enough. You
Yeah.
need to find somebody else. Like, eventually, that's going to be like the conclusion with a lot of these players. But some of them just aren't good enough, and you're going to have to replace them. It's going to be the same thing with Milan at a point, but it's like as of right now, you know that like there is like a very good baseline that you're underneath. You know, like
Yeah. And with
In
Arsenal,
my
it sucks
very comfortable.
because the standards. By the way, I managed to go live on Discord, by the way, so you should be able to like see my screen live instead of like on delay on his stream. But I was just going to say, with Arsenal, it sucks because you guys were good so early that it has now sort of like set the standards in like an irreversible way. Like
And
there's
we're
people
off
that
again.
already talk about like, oh wow,
Well, 1-0
Arteta
may
sucks
be good enough,
because
so
in
they
Enzo
may err on
Maresca's
the
first
side of
season
caution
he's
and
doing
get
so
more
well,
players behind
and
the
in
ball
Slot's first
instead
season
of
he's doing
running
so well.
beyond it.
But they're
They
ignoring
could
the
even try
context that
to
like
spoil
all
it from
the
here, we'll
work,
see.
like basically this is like year 5 of those projects,
Jan
and
Maat.
year 8 of Klopp basically. Like Slot is basically
Jota.
like inheriting Klopp's year 8. I saw that run. That
Over
was
to
a
the
good run.
left.
Klopp is inheriting year 8 of Slot. And then Maresca is like all the work that Pochettino has done with like the Chelsea project.
He's gone for goal.
Ooh, that's close. All the work that
That's a
Pochettino has done with the
half-decent
Chelsea
try.
project is now paying off
His
now. So it's like the
reputation
same
is
thing,
better
but
than
there's
what
just the
we've just seen.
perception of it being a new coach. But a new coach that didn't really have to change much in terms of underlying structure. Like the fundamentals that were in place are already there, and there's not much Maresca is going to do about it. Like Maresca isn't the one that bossed Cole Palmer. Cole Palmer's development as a player
And it's played
combined with
forward.
Nico Jackson's development as a player,
Yeah, it looks like
none of
a
those things
change of approach, and
are
it may just freshen things up.
corollary to Enzo Maresca or not. But the problem is he's the guy that's around when it happens.
Kagawa.
Because football fundamentally
Jan
is still
Maat.
just players playing well or playing
Rivaldo.
badly. Like there's not that
Jan
much a
Maat.
coach can do beyond like
Torture.
structure, like routines, preparation. In the actual
Tozawa.
games, it's still
Torture.
so much on the player. I hope that was offside. Okay, it wasn't.
And
Are you fucking
he's
kidding,
straight
dude?
offside.
You can't be offside there. That's so Martinelli coded, man. Like, how was that offside? What the fuck, dude? What was that? I'm actually gonna snap, dude. In what
There might be an
world?
error.
Literally, how was that offside in the slightest? Like, what? You saw that, right? Like, what? How could that have been offside? On what planet?
What happened to Martinelli today?
Oh man, that was like so. Dude, that is not offside. We just got robbed. That is absolutely not offside at all.
We just got wrong.
Literally just got robbed for no reason. Where's the exact moment the ball is played?
Though, like,
That's
anyway,
actually insane. That is literally not offside, like at all.
they are like, I don't even know how to explain it. Like, these teams aren't even like dependent at this point.
Yeah.
Arsenal are with Mikel Arteta. Mikel Arteta for a long time now had primary
Torture.
of talent,
Yep.
the prime of the
Passing is
talent, the
crisp and
primary
sharp.
like facilitator
So
of like every single aspect of the team goes through.
Yeah, goes to Arteta.
Maresca and Slot, they are coaches.
They're just
They are
there, man. They're
primarily
just
on the field coaches.
Yep.
Anderson.
It's like their structure is way closer to baseball, where like all the personnel decisions are out of your hands. Your job is to make subs and take the pitcher out of the game. That's it. Like you're not setting policy, you're not doing anything. Like you're just there as a caretaker.
Well, it's
And
a matter of
especially with
instinct to
Edu gone, it
defend
feels like
when ahead,
Arteta's
but
influence
too
will be
early for them
even.
To settle into that practice just now.
And that's left him on
That's
the
a
seat of his
foul,
pants.
ref! Oh my god, dude, these guys are killing us.
Oh, he's
These guys
enjoyed
are
that.
destroying
He
us in the
evidently
paint.
loves the contest.
That was a foul, dude. And they get the throw too. Come on, dude.
Lucas Anderson.
Anyway, I think with
Just
Arsenal,
like
I would still be optimistic simply because you guys have done a good job of avoiding losses, and that's like the biggest thing. The losses are so backbreaking. I feel like I'm in 4 losses. Holy moly, that's like so bad. But if we only had 2, if we only had 2, we would be in a world of
Torture. Played out to the left
nice.
flank. He's found the and a shot. And
I think with Arsenal, especially, the problem is just the forward play. Like, if Havertz isn't in like Havertz form, everything just suffers. Everything is harder.
Looking for the runner.
And yeah, your defense is good, and it's good to have a good defense.
Lucas Anderson.
That to be so perfect. Like, yeah, your defense is good, and it's good to have a good defense, but like with Chelsea, they score 4 every game, and sometimes that's just what it comes down to. Like, can you consistently, even when you don't play well, can you outscore the opposition? Versus like, if you go down, the game is out of reach.
Lucas Anderson with the short one.
Point where we've hit a fence because now we're waiting for Martinelli to rediscover form that we
Yeah.
now. We're trying to rejuvenate Trossard, Jesus, and Havertz, who are clearly they're not playing that. Like we all these 4 players, except haven't even been given a chance. All 4 of these clearly trying to play them back in.
Yeah.
Seems there's going to be a change.
And this is why I'm saying, like, you know me, I'm not like the type of person that's like, oh, God, assigned like the flavor of the month, like forward.
Yeah.
We need something.
But just
like,
somebody, dude, like a warm body. Literally just anybody that you can rely on to consistently. Nice one, Chapuni. Nice one, Chapuni. Let's go. They tackled him in the end. It's so hard to do that type of thing in this game. Defenders are just not stupid. I think with Arsenal especially.
And he's in on goal. There's the hit.
That was a good hit. With Arsenal especially, it's such an obvious weak point compared to your opposition too. Like your rivals around the table. All of them have consistent goal scorers, like more than one. Guys who could get like 2 goals in a game regularly. Why would you not catch the ball?
that they've been sussed out now. Like when you really think about it, Trossard, Martinelli, and Jesus have been
well, there's plenty
2 seasons, I think.
like about this approach. Get your head down, keep battling away, and eventually things
so much like
for you.
scout work that's been done on these players.
Yep.
Like, by them.
And it's tough because like they're so key to the entire Arsenal identity. And it's not as if Arsenal is a one-dimensional team, but like when you live and die by nice one, Triponi. When you live and die by these players, that's like what you have to live with too.
Is when the likes of Martinelli, Havertz, and like Trossard are so easy to like nullify. Like you basically instantly like you don't even worry about like the opposition teams to this point now.
Yeah.
They don't, he's like a complete afterthought. But when that's a player that's starting every week.
Yeah.
And it's lofted through here.
You're making everything harder for you. Everywhere else because everyone's going to then put more focus on the side.
And the worst part is fans surface at like when a team has a tactical identity of like, oh my god, even Arsenal's bench plays exactly like Arsenal starters, the entire academy. The drawback of that is that if teams prepare for one type of like play style that you can do, then all they have to do is prepare for that one type of play style. Nobody that comes off the bench for Arsenal is going to change their dynamic on the ball in attacking areas. You swap Martinelli for Trossard. Oh my god, that was so good. How did you miss that? You swap Martinelli for Trossard. Arsenal looks the same. You swap Havertz for Gabriel Jesus. Arsenal looks the same. You swap Merino for Thomas or Merino for Rice. Arsenal looks the same. No one is actually changing the dynamic for Arsenal compared to like Milan, where if Pulisic comes on and like Chukwueze comes off, like that's a different Milan. Like Milan is not going to have the same approach, and that makes us a worse team. Yes, but it also situationally, it's what you want to see because the manager makes a substitution when he wants a change, and if nothing is changing after the substitution, it's like, you know what it reminds me of? It You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of when Sarri used to coach Chelsea, and every game at 60 minutes he would make the exact same sub, Barkley for Kovacic, and Chelsea would just keep playing exactly the same way because Kovacic and Barkley, they were coming on the field to do the exact same role. They would approach it the same way. They would make the same passes, take the same actions. It's like there was no difference in Chelsea whether Barkley or Kovacic started or whether one of them came off at 60 minutes. Like that's the disadvantage of having such a rigid tactical identity, and that's what Arsenal is suffering from right now. Sometimes it pays off, but other times it's like jeepers. It's not really what you want to see.
He's in the summer, but I don't know. We just didn't want to go for him. There was Aussie Man there. Aussie Man was like an obvious like we just didn't have in the team. Like just from that aspect alone, like Aussie Man could have came in and been kind of like mediocre in terms of his output, but just in terms of like what he offered, it would we didn't have it, and it would have been a plus just for that reason alone.
Yeah.
And that's why I kind of like the idea of the Sterling loan because Sterling had something.
Yeah, he was different.
He's washed, but he's different. There was like something different about it. Like obviously he's not the player, and he's like showing to not be the player clearly in the training ground because he's not even getting onto the pitch right now.
Yeah.
But I feel like, you know, that would have been fine. Like that would have been fine because it poses something else. Like if we had a Chukwueze or like Okafor, like I could like that's something different that we can bring on, and we'll see something again. Because what I feel like is these teams are comfortable now going to go like sideways out to the flank.
Yep.
And their support defender, like the midfielder or the winger on their side, come and help them when like Saka's on like the right flank with the ball. Like we just need something else, and that's all I can really say. And it's kind of frustrating that we might have threw away another season.
Yeah. Especially like being this far off the pace, so it's just so demoralizing. Like it's tough. It's tough. Like Milan, the best we can hope for is like top 4, and you hate to be in that situation where the best you can hope for is top 4.
Like Arsenal might not lose a single like top 6 game this season, and we're probably not even going to be anywhere near like the title. It just goes to show that like I don't know if it's a philosophy, but something might have spooked him when 3 times that one year in 2022, 20.
Yeah, I think I know what you mean.
Something like spooked him in the sense that like, oh my god, we've been like tactically like outthought, out
Yep.
like out
And
to our direct rival.
The tripling down on like defensive players is just like so short-sighted. It's so short-sighted. Like spending 50 million on CBs, like yeah, it's good when you have the big like emotional defensive standoffs against Man City and you pull out with the clean sheet and stuff, but like man, it just makes the team so unbalanced. Like Arsenal is stacked defensively. It reminds me of those NFL teams or those college football teams sometimes where you'd be like, oh my god, they have such a great defensive line, but they never score touchdowns. Or they have to rely on like pick sixes to get goals because they just have no offensive talents because the team just isn't really built well.
Oh, that's such a good run. More of that, please.
Man, because if I were to look at the stats right now, Man United, Spurs, Aston Villa, if you want to count them, I guess, like it's coming from like these teams that's like Sky Sports will make a graphic in like a few weeks and say like, oh my god, look at like Arteta's record against like the contending Big Six or like the top, the current top 4. But it's like that doesn't really matter though. Like I'm not trying to like discredit like his achievements in that aspect, but it's like it doesn't really like all wins, losses, and draws are born equal.
Yep.
Okay, what? Chelsea have 2 losses against Man City and Liverpool. Like Arsenal fans would say like that's very like disgraceful. Like you can't do that. But
yeah,
it offsets completely with our L's against Bournemouth and Newcastle.
Yep.
Do they not? It completely offsets. Like it does not.
Like you can win all the Milan derbies you want, but if you're joined to Cagliari, that's tough. And 3 points is 3 points. It doesn't matter if you got the 3 points against Man City or you got the 3 points against. It's just Sky Sports that makes these like top 6 clashes mean more. But fundamentally, it's not like Premier League is a head-to-head league anyway. It's still just all about goal difference. In Serie A, it's even worse because like if we finish level on points on it with Inter, but we lost to Inter, that matters. In Premier League, you just need to score more goals than Inter, and you're fine.
Clung on for the 3 points in their last game. Positive results though, build momentum.
First time Chelsea beat like a big six opponent this season in the Premier League, and they're ahead of us by 2 points.
Insane.
Are already
Doesn't matter.
ahead. The perfect start.
Well, it's one thing planning
Oh,
it,
that was
Peter,
beautiful,
but
Kuribashi.
another executing it, and this is proving to be a rather fine execution.
Tries a shot! Chooses to go back. Over to the left.
Oh my God! What a pass, Aoi! Are you kidding? Wow, this guy's a player, dude. Like when he gets into that half space, it's so satisfying. Oh my God, that was perfect. Holy moly! What a player.
Estepona get themselves a 2-goal cushion.
Well, that's really winded the opposition. You can see their manager screaming
Oh, being
on
a
the
lot more.
touchline, telling his team to calm down. But they'll need to do that pretty quickly. It's composure from here.
Oh, that's bad. How did they get that overload so fast? Oh my God, dude.
Out wide here. Towering header.
That's dangerous.
Just couldn't turn it in.
Well, being able to generate that amount of activity in
Ah,
the box
Tripone, he
means
was
it's
slow.
hard not to pick someone out.
I think the other thing that I noticed with Arsenal is that like when it's on for them, it's so easy, but they really struggle with the those moments where like the team looks like they have an answer, like the opposition looks like they have an answer. It's like they don't do as well when it comes to like improvising, like coming up with something on the fly, compared to trying to reset the game state back to the favorable situations for them, if that makes sense. It's like they will usually prefer to to reset the game state to how they're used to when it comes to like, okay, if these guys are trying to make us play like Inter, we're not going to take the bait, we're going to play our way. And that kind of inflexibility sometimes it pays off, especially against those big games against like Man U, where like the corners, everything, and the creating chances isn't there. But like the open play is just like such an issue for weeks now, where it's like it showed against Man U to some extent, and it showed against this other team that they had recently. This other game where like it was a similar bad performance. But it's just like, yeah, it's an issue with that, like, the Arsenal players themselves are kind of like, they've gone so used to playing a certain way that, like, when the option is taken away from them, they kind of feel like they would rather just force it. Instead of being like, okay, oh, you want us to go vertical, we can. But the best teams are fine with taking what the defense gives them. Like, it's such a cliche, but it's just like, it's a part of sports for a reason. Like, sometimes you have to take what the defense gives you. And if the defense is giving you, like, a game where you have to move the ball around very quickly and like just attack spaces instead of doing the full positional gimmicks, like sometimes that's just what it requires, and that's just how it's going to be. Like it's not the end of the world if you can't like score the perfect Arteta goal, the way everyone was involved, and you got your 5 versus 4, and you got your all your insertions and everything.
Definitely on his mind, Peter. He wants to get it over with as quickly as he can. Just about everything he's done, for me, he's done it with real conviction.
He certainly has. Really satisfying performance from him. A smiling satisfaction emanating from him. He is embracing this game. And the counter is...
Wow, is that Andreas Weimann in 2024? That's crazy, dude. This guy was playing against Chelsea for Aston Villa in like 2014.
Crowd appreciates good football all round there. Kiyotake. Kenny. King. It's run loose here.
That was bad, Kiriki.
My bad. I think I disconnected for a bit. I was
Oh,
talking
yeah.
about Chelsea.
Oh,
It was
Chelsea kills me, man. Like, it's one of those things where when everything is going right for you, it's going right for you. Because
no true.
for
No,
me, tactically, I don't really see anything much difference from like POC.
And it's played
I don't
forward.
see anything crazy that they're doing. Players are just informed and they're scoring a lot, and that's what happens when you're scoring a lot. It's like sometimes the league environment just gets like slightly shittier.
the thing about Chelsea though, which I don't like necessarily hate, is they're exuberant. Like I can tell that there's like a youthful kind of ignorant, exuberant. Like they're arrogant. They're an arrogant team because they're young and they think they're
Yep.
very good. And
Yeah.
they kind of prove it too because the way they play, when you give them like good space to attack into in transition, like they're very
Yeah.
like hard team to beat. Like they will kill
Especially
you because
Nico Jackson. That it's so clear that teams aren't
100%.
used to dealing with him. Even when he sucks, teams just it gives teams question marks. They have to deal with it, and that's so annoying.
100%.
It's like
100%.
it's an asset for them because they feel like nothing matters. When you just finish 11th,
Excellent challenge there.
it's like, okay, fine. So what if we suck? We won't die. And that freedom is kind of liberating for these players. But to a certain extent, it will catch up. Oh my god, that was such a great pass. To a certain extent, it will catch up to them because when teams stop affording them that luxury of like the space, that's where the problems are creeping again. So it's just. But the thing with them is that Cole Palmer seems so agnostic to like the opposition. It seems like he literally doesn't care who he's playing against. If he doesn't score a penalty, he'll do like a crazy shots that like dribbles along the ground, but the keeper was just badly positioned, or some like lucky deflection. Like it just seems like he just doesn't care who he's playing against, and he's just going to get his 30 points.
No, but like the issue is like at some point, like you mentioned, the expectation and then the change in like sort of play that you'll find when you play against like opposition once you become good, because this is the issue that happened with Arsenal after I'd say 21-22 is when like people were still very naive of what Arsenal were like capable of, and they afforded them a lot of luxury. They tried to like play on the front foot. They tried to like, we're gonna pen you back, we're gonna press you like extremely high into your side of the pitch, and we're going to like make you pay for like trying to play your way out because we don't respect you. We don't think you're good enough to like beat us. And this is like the type of phase that our Chelsea are currently in. I think right now we've known like for at least like the end of last season, they were like very resolute. Like they were a very good team. Like now this start of the season, we've like accepted that they are a serious team and they will be serious for like the future, foreseeable future. But now it's like when the expectation comes, what do we do? Because Cole Palmer can't really play like this nonchalant style of play when it's like, you know, a draw to Aston Villa at home. And then the Chelsea fans are saying, oh, our season's over. Because like you weren't on it. Like we don't care about the flicks. We don't care about like the back heels and whatnot. Like we want you to be a very
efficient player that's doing the right things. That's like, you know, making the right passes. Final third is like on point. The sharpness is there. Oh my god, that's really bad. Oh my god.
And you know, obviously then the low blocks come, because I know Chelsea have also like had issues facing up against like mid-table teams in low blocks, and that's like always going to be like the bane of like people's existence. And that's what happens with Arteta too. Arteta has completely structured his team to like these brutish type of like duel winners, guys that are going to be in the box when it's like, you know, comes to a set piece. Like I don't even want to like discuss the set piece topic at this point because it's like kind of boring, so funny, but it's man, like it's truth, because at the end of the day it's a big asset and it's a part of the sport. So I understand why we like catered a lot of our squad building the past few seasons towards it, because unfortunately we're a very good team and we've been an established good team for such a long time now that teams are going to play a very, let's just say, they're going to play shit, bro. They're going to play shit. They're going to try to, bro, Fulham, Leno in the 22nd minute of today's game, guy was time wasting in the fucking first half, bro. Like, are you kidding? The guy's like falling on the ball, man. Like, are you joking me, man? Like, you're at home, bro. Have some shit. Like, dude.
And
like, you're literally at home and you're up 1-0.
What kills me is that like the corner scoring also low-key isn't sustainable.
No, it
Because
isn't.
like
It
that's
isn't.
just how football is. Like there will be periods of time where you're going to have good luck when it comes to set pieces, and then they'll fade away. And you
Yeah.
can have a certain edge
Just
in
eases him off
some
the
respects that will give you like that structural advantage where you always be like in or around the top 5, top 6 of like goals scored from corners.
Mhm.
But like fundamentally, oh, that was I think they saw what I wanted to do. But like fundamentally, you still need to be able to just like break teams down and kill them in open play before like the 60-minute mark. Like that's the hallmark of a good team that's trying to like win titles. You need
Exactly.
to execute in structure, and you need to execute in structure, and you need to like kill games off like before the other guys have a chance to do whatever they want to do. Which is like, yeah, that's Arsenal's like biggest problem right now. Where if they concede first, or if they don't get a goal within like the first 10 minutes, the game becomes like a slog, which can be the plan A.
It's just weird. It's just a weird situation because at this point, it's like I don't mind what Arteta does in terms of like his game management. He's actually pretty like intelligent in the fact that he doesn't like to make unnecessary changes in
Yeah.
terms of like substitutions. Not in my personal opinion, I don't even think we have like the necessary substitutes to even make at this point. That's another issue that I have with the squad at this moment in time. I feel like our squad is very weak in the
Yeah.
sense that we don't have a lot of like flexibility in terms of profiles on the bench, as like you mentioned earlier. Like a lot of it is just like for like changes, so it's like
Yeah.
that's why Arteta kind of just like lets the players try to figure things out for themselves. Like he rarely makes subs early in games, even if it's
Yeah.
like a drawn or losing game state. He likes to keep things ticking as is. He makes as few changes as possible because it's like there isn't really any point. And if you're bringing in like a cold body off the bench into a
Yeah.
situation like
That's
that, like
tough.
there's a good chance that like nothing happens. Like they're completely like out of the context of the game. Like they don't have like they're like obviously they've been watching the game, but it's like a completely different situation when you come into the game. Like you're just out of it sometimes. Like I've seen so many times where Trossard comes into a match,
Oh yeah.
Jesus, and it's like you don't even know they're there. Like they don't do anything. Like they
Yeah.
don't offer anything. It's like what was
Kills
the
me.
point? Like Waneri is one of them. Waneri, when he came on for Odegaard today, like I saw a player there that's like a different profile. He is
Yep.
definitely nothing like Odegaard. Just the way that he wants to like get onto the ball and beat his man like consistently. Every time he opens up, he wants to shoot. Like he just that's a player that we need. But it's like it kills me that like these solutions that we find are always from like Holland, man.
Oh yeah.
Like if Saka didn't exist, like
Yeah,
where
Arsenal
would
would
we be
be
right
so
now?
finished.
Like we'd be so finished. Like we are consistently getting bailed out by academy now. It's like we need to do better in the
The
markets, man.
transfer policy is not giving. Oh my god, Aoi, what are you doing? This guy kills me sometimes. Like the transfer policy at Arsenal just feels like a combination of Bleacher Reports with like scouted football with like Yerda set piece coach like physical traits.
Arteta's Instagram followings, bro. That's what it was. Calafiori, bro. I don't understand why we signed Calafiori, man. Like,
Yeah,
what was the point of that
that was
signing,
such
man?
a like I don't even know what the rationale was because Arsenal wasn't
I
lacking
don't
for
know, man.
defenders. It was such a like get the fans excited, but also not because like no one's really excited for like a centre back left back hybrid. Like that's not really, and it wasn't. It's
I
not
don't
even
even know,
like
man.
it's not even like you sold the defense. Like if you sold Saliba in the summer and it's like Calafio's Saliba replacement, I would get it. But if your entire back four plus Ben White is around, then it's like, why are you still buying defenders? Like, what is
I
the
don't know, man.
intended outcome?
Bro, we had a Pro Bowl like defense, like literally like voted by the players and the coaches, man. Like I don't know,
Yep.
like it just makes no sense, man. It just makes absolute no sense to me. But what it is,
Oof.
you just got to move on, bro. What can you say? Like,
Yeah.
I like Mikel Merino. Mikel Merino was a good signing just for the sheer fact that we have like an actual left-footed central
Yeah.
midfielder. Like that's something that we didn't have. Not whatever the fuck Kai Havertz was when he would play left center mid. Like, no, I'm not doing that. That was just too much, man.
It's kind of so insane that Havertz was literally signed as a midfielder, like to replace Xhaka, and he just happened to catch scoring form. Ah, that was the hat trick. He just happened to catch scoring form, but like Arteta had no intention to play him as a striker when he signed, which is just insane to think about. Like that was not.
It was a disaster, man.
It makes me
And
laugh
the
so
thing
hard.
is, the striking duo that he had in mind was Jesus and Nketiah,
Oh my god,
along
dude.
with like Havertz in midfield. Like he kind of trolled, man. Like I can't like he kind of trolled us. Like we kind of regressed in the project slightly, not even just slightly. I think we will see 23, 24. We kind of got away with it because we were still good, and there
Yep.
was like good mechanisms that were still in place that allowed us to like platform somebody like Havertz to kind of, bro, Havertz, we platformed this guy for basically half a season being completely shit, and he like useless. Like he was useless for half a season, and we were still good enough with everything else that we had to get by trying to like find his place in the team.
Yeah.
But long term, I think we're going to struggle big time if we don't like make some big changes like very quickly. Like we're going to have to make some uncomfortable decisions with like guys like Havertz,
Yep.
Jesus, and I don't know.
Jesus, Blenchenko, basically your entire like left attacking side is just very question mark right now. Jesus, Trossard, Havertz, Martinelli to some extent, even though it pains me. But like the thing with Martinelli that gives him such a long leash is that like first of all, he's basically an academy player, like basically like he's been there.
Yeah, exactly.
He's so young and like there's no like transfer fee that's like everyone needs to recoup. Like he was also basically nothing. So it's like there's no pressure on him to deliver. And he has shown that he's capable of like high outputs. So that is like in his favor, like it's evidence that he can do it. So he's not like a hypothetical. It's just up to him to like meet. Oof. Nice idea, but that was always a tough ask.
On seeing this one out by running down the clock, I think.
I don't know, man.
Yeah.
Oh, we'll see what happens. But anyways, man, it was a pleasure, but I'm kind of running late. I gotta get ready for my
Oh yeah,
shift,
for
bro.
sure. Get onto the coffee shop. I'll catch you
Nah,
later.
man. See you, man.
Yeah.
Well, they shouldn't be dawdling at this stage. They need to get the ball in the mixer and quickly.
He's had a fair tumble under that challenge. And the number on the board is 3. Oh, it's a nice idea, but the execution was lacking. And that's it.